Very good. So let's get started with the onboarding process. Okay. So what happens with the onboarding process is now that candidate is done with the recruitment. Recruiter hits on initiate onboarding. Okay. So then what happens is on the hiring manager, the person who has raised this requisition. In our example, the IBM practice head has raised a requisition for the recruitment management consultant. So he is going to see one tab under his My Team dashboard. This is called as section. If you know about EC, these are all different sections on the dashboard, and every section will have a tile. The square box is called as a tile. Okay. Automatically under My Team section there will be a tile which will be enabled, which will say that okay, these members are waiting for the onboarding process from the HR manager. Okay. So once the hiring manager hits on that onboarding dashboard, he will be taken to this particular pop-up. Okay, where he can see all the tasks and pertaining to my tasks. So which will say new hire, on track, completed, or it is not completed, or it is overdue, etc. So because hiring manager should do certain activities there, and as an onboarding consultant you are the one who is going to configure what are the activities. Okay. ZTV, for example, it is a telecom entertainment zone. So they'll have a certain process that if somebody is getting onboarding, hiring manager should take them to a lunch. Hiring manager should assign a team leader. Hiring manager should assign XYZ assets to that particular employee. So that's what a hiring manager have to do. He has to write a welcome note. Okay. So every company will have different activities. So whatever activities you discuss with the client, you're going to configure that in the system. And that is what is automatically getting tracked on the onboarding dashboard. Now, what is a dashboard? Anything which is giving you a status is called as a dashboard in SuccessFactors language. Okay. All these dashboards are standard. You don't have to do anything. They're all coming up as standard. You should only enable them. How you're going to do it is what I'm going to teach you next. So what is this hiring manager going to do? There will be a to do section. Under to do section, prepare for new hires. This is something which will be activated. So one, you already saw My Team, which is onboarding dashboard. Then you are seeing there is to do. Now there is something that I should do, so that's why a task is waiting for me. The moment I click on it, it will show me prepare for new hires. Now here is where what all I have to do. What should I do? I have to schedule the meetings, where to go, I have to request for a laptop, I have to recommend certain links that he has to go through, write a welcome message for, say, the new consultant, say George. Okay, who is HR analyst. So this is the date of joining. So he is joining in 3 weeks, which is on this date. So this is the hiring manager name. These are the activities that he has to do, and he can start any of these activities, and these are the due dates. Okay. Now, are you going to configure these things? The answer is no. This is all coming up in standard that only these things can come. If the client says, no, I want another things to be added to it, why it is not done, and etc., we can't do it because this is a standard system. All right. So this is about view in dashboard. It will give you a dashboard look. Now this is a what do you call a list view, right? So this way your look and feel will keep different. So I'm going to tell you how you'll have to configure on all these different looks. Okay. Second is write a welcome note. The moment he clicks on the start button, he will again be directed to this particular pop-up where he can write subject welcome to the team, your message. So this is the message, right? This is all is automated, right? Because they are going to give you all of these notes when you go for the requirement gathering. They'll tell you this is the notes, this is where we use this is what we use, etc. You're going to collect all of that data and do the configuration, so that the moment hiring manager gets onto here, you don't have to again copy paste all the script, right? It's already there because you've pre-configured it. Now here you see dear first name, right? First name can be anybody, and the first name of the candidate, where is it tracking? Some time back, when I as a candidate has given my candidate profile details initially, that's where I mentioned my first name. So from there the data is traveling to here, and here is the automation. This first name which is in the square bracket is called as a tokens. Okay, you have n number of tokens and the data flows automatically to onboarding. Recruiter do not even have to go back and check what is his first name or so. Data usually travels automatically. All right, so next is, this is how the buddy assignment happens. Okay, so within the team, in order to assist that newcomer, so the hiring manager is going to assist somebody that please, we have a new coming into our team, go assist him, go for a buddy lunch or go for, a tour of that department. Bigger companies go for a tour, they show them everything, and HR usually does it, or a buddy is assigned to do it. Okay, and you configure all of this, that who is the buddy, what are the personal details of him, contact number and etc, so that they can find out where he is, etc, and then go accommodate him. All right, next, so recommended people. So for say RCM, the recommendation is Prasanna. For EC, the recommendation is say Sophia. So this way you have different people assignment that the hiring manager would do. Okay, he schedules the meeting. This is how the meeting scheduling would happen. Okay, then mass completion of the onboarding task. So not just one consultant, right? I have given you an example of one consultant. He might be requiring EC, he might be requiring onboarding, he might be requiring HCM. So all the consultants can be done a meeting schedule in bulk, which is mass completion of all the onboarding task or a specific onboarding task. Okay, then request equipment. Okay, now he is going to request for equipment where you have a drop down. Laptop, do he need a Lenovo laptop, Apple laptop, Dell laptop, depends on the category that he is eligible for. And this is where you can automate. If somebody is getting hired in L1, then automatically the system will suggest for a say Apple laptop. If somebody is in L5, it will go for say XYZ laptop. All right, so this way, this is where your intervention is there. This is where you will have to say the system, you have to write certain logics that the drop down comes automatically. That's where, that is what your job is. Okay, so next is the recommended links. Now because your recruitment management, like one of our friend has recently joined a job, so Somil. So now Somil will be given certain links. Okay, this is your learning hub as user, this is your certification user, this is your partner user, this is your SAP acclaim user, this is your PDC user, this is your say partner.com user. So this way they'll give you all the links. So go subscribe into all of this. This is our IBM internal group, so go add it into it. This is our SAP jam link, go add it into it. You will get n number of links when you're in SuccessFactors. So these links will be shared by your buddy or the hiring manager. Okay, so this kind of a process is what we will be configuring in onboarding. And then the day one, so day one, what are you going to do? So on top of this, when you know a PMGM process, you will usually have probationary goals. They'll give you the goals also which you'll have to work on, right? So these goals and all of that is the second phase, because usually it doesn't happen in the onboarding phase. It is a little beyond, a little after the onboarding, right? So that's why we do not include that here, but some companies will ask you to include that also into here. You can do it. All right, so next is, where do you have to go? So for me, I am new to the company, so I will only follow this success factors application and see who is all I'm going to meet, who is all I'm going to go to, where do I have to go, and etc. So for a employee, this is going to be a drive through application for onboarding. Okay, then set the goals. This is what I was talking about in the PMGM perspective. So you have 60 days goals, 30 days goals, 90 days goals, which are set by the hiring manager. Hiring manager is going to write these goals and assign it to them. Okay, then this is the hiring manager experience. Okay, welcome on board. Hey Suzanne, this is what you are into this role. We welcome you into the team and etc. A new email ID is created, a new welcome message has been rolled out, etc. Okay, now what is the new hire experience? Until here it is hiring manager who is doing all of these tasks, right? Now as a newcomer, what does probably Somel have to do? Somel also have to do certain things, right? So she is going to have an account, SuccessFactors ID and password. She'll go into the home page as an external user, because yet she's not an employee, she is an external user. So she'll go into this tour, she'll be seeing a small pop-up here, and she'll say, please start the tour. And then she's going to tour all of these things. The system is going to tell you about each and every node, what you have to do, how you have to do, all these details that you have to enter. So all of this data is what you have to check whether the data is collected during the recruitment process or not, because it is all going to fill up automatically. Here you see there are certain tabs: basic information, address information, personal information, emergency contact. So all this data is already coming up. Address is automatically filled. Emergency contact you will have to maintain, because so far to this company you might not give any emergency contact even in the recruitment process, right? Then comes is the new hire experience. So until here you're filling all the data, uploading all the documents is what your role, that's what you have to do. And here I'm just showing you 2 to 3 slides. You will have 10 slides, 15 slides. So each one of the slide is called as a panel in technical terms. Okay, you will have 10 to 15 panels in the onboarding. All right, then comes manage pending hires, which is a part of the HR experience. Now here is where this particular onboarded person is going into employee central. Now this part will be taken care by employee central consultant, that is the HR person of a company. Usually what happens in a company, recruitment will be taken care by somebody, onboarding will be taken care by somebody, then employee central will be taken care by somebody. So that somebody is going to take care from here. The moment he clicks on onboarding 2.0, he'll see that 17 people are waiting. So he'll just do a hiring. He'll just click on hire, 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 and everybody is hired into the system. So when everybody is hired into the system, that's where an employee ID is generated. So this is how you will see all the data is now automatically flowing from onboarding to employee central. This is onboarding to EC integration. So here the HR is not going to do anything, no data entry, no corrections, etc. They're just going to have that data flow. All right, so then as manage pending hires, they'll submit it, they'll completely click all the 4 zones and then they'll just click on submit, and that's it. The manage pending hires is completed. Okay, so this is about the entire process that we have for both recruitment and for onboarding. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. If no questions, then I'm going to show you the system. If you have any questions, please use this 2 to 3 minutes so that you can ask me questions. Else I'm going to show you the system.
No, ma'am, not from my side.
Not from my side also.
Okay. Okay. Good that you do not have any questions. Probably you should be either clear with the concept or the process, or you're unclear. Yeah. Anyway, so this is how you log in into the system. This is the new look and feel of success factors, which is 2H 2020 updated, and 1H 2021 updated. So this is the new look and feel. You see there is a change in the UI. If you had already done a previous training like Somil, you see there is a change in the look and feel of the system. So this is the new UI. Not that you cannot go back to the previous one. This is what is introduced by SF. Okay. This is called as landing page because you're landing on this the moment you log in into the systems. Hence, it is called as a landing page. On the landing page, this is called as a home drop down button, which will give you the authentications for different modules. If you are an authorized person that I can access goals, performance, continuous performance, calibration, etc., whatever is given here in this list is what you are authenticated to get started with recruiting. Okay, I have logged in as a super administrator, by the way. This is the recruitment dashboard. All right. Why is this dashboard? I already told you that this talks about certain statistics, etc., certain numbers, display of the list, current status. Hence, it is called as recruitment dashboard. So this is the recruitment statistics, which is not standard. You will have to configure it. Okay. Everything that you're seeing on this page is not coming up as the standard. Certain things are standard, certain things are something that you have to enable, and that's what you're going to learn. That what permissions do I have to give to see this create new button? It is not usually displayed unless you do something. All right. Then say reports and say offers, so you're doing something for this particular setup to be seen like this. Okay. Now you see certain unpleasant colors like white job requisition. I hardly can see what it is. Now this kind of color setup, this is called as theme manager, which is a part of your introduction to mastery concepts, a part of your EC. So where you're setting up the theme as per the client requirement, usually mapping to their say logo. All right. So once you design all of this, then the other modules keep up in the system. That is, now recruitment is sitting on the system. All right. Now this is about the requisition statistics. This is where you will have the dashboard where you will see there are certain recruitments which are not approved. So this can be approved like this, and some recruitments which are already approved, you see them like this. And there is edit the job requisition, job postings, market the job, duplicate job requisitions, candidate summary, add a candidate, search for the candidates. So there are two different zones. You have a requisition actions, you have candidate actions. Now when you go for interviews, right, people are not going to ask you something beyond the context. They're just going to ask you, like, on the recruitment dashboard, the moment I mouse over on the administration support or say some sort of a requirement, what are the two sections that you will see? So one is requisition section, another is the candidate section. Okay. So as a candidate, as a consultant, you have to remember these things, that okay, on this particular mouse over, on this pop-up, I see these two things, and this is what you have to remember. And that's where your experience speaks up, your say your information speaks up. This doesn't come over the night, I would agree to it, unless you do a kind of work into it or you practice into it. Okay. I'm just telling you this because you understand that it is not a rocket science tool that you cannot understand or you cannot do. Somebody like Prasanna, you really don't have to worry about how will I do this job or something. There are thousands of people like you who have come from a different background and happily working in success factors and progressing well in their careers. So this is just as a tool. Nobody has taught us Facebook, right? We still excel in that Facebook accounts. Similarly, here is success factors. All right. So this is about the recruitment management. So I'll go into the candidate summary as well. You only have to understand the words, the technical stuff, etc. It takes a little time, and that's where I'm here to train you on how you'll have to remember all of these things and make it easier for you. All right. This is the talent pipeline that I was talking about. You just have to mouse over on this cursor and it rolls out here. This is where your onboarding is into. So where you can just go click on that onboarded person. This is what is taking him into the onboarding zone, that is into onboarding module as such. All right, but then I have to initiate the onboarding. The moment I initiate the onboarding, that's where I can go ahead, click on this initiate onboarding, and once I click on the initiate onboarding, this person is going into onboarding process. So I'll just go into on and off boarding process. Okay, now inside this onboarding process, you will see that the person is settling here as an onboarding person. Now you might have asked some questions this way also. What if, Sophia, we have one hiring, say we are hiring a senior director. He doesn't go through any of these recruitment process, typical recruitment interviews, etc. Usually top management brings somebody who are well known, and then they say he is your senior director. Happens with us, right? So in that case, how are you going to handle all of this? So there is nobody, nothing called as a recruitment process. Is not even traveling through that zone. Is directly coming into onboarding. Then what are you going to do? Even for that, you have this particular option where you can directly go click on the create new task, where you do not need any connectivity from recruitment. You can directly start in the onboarding itself. So these are all the different tasks which are set up. So if you log in as a administrator, this is how you will see it. If you log in as a hiring manager, you will see a different setup. If you log in as an HR, you will see a different setup. It is all how you're configuring the system. Okay, the moment I click on this Calvin Roderick, if I'm not wrong, yeah, so these are the panels that you will see for Calvin Randwick. Okay, so you keep doing next, 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 and you can always set up how many fields I have to see in this particular panel, where there should be a drop down, what are the values of this drop down, how is the country coming up automatically, do you have to say automate something, or you wanted to have a data travel from recruitment to here. If somebody is getting started directly into onboarding, then the recruiter or say the onboarding employee should fill everything, because recruitment is not there, so the data is not flowing obviously into onboarding this way. And then you just keep doing next, 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 and then you fill up this particular form. After this, the employee is going to get a link, the one that I showed you in the slide, is going to open that link and now start looking into the data which is filled. Okay, this is all correct, 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 and then fill up or upload all the documents which are necessary, and then submit, so that the onboarding employee will be receiving all that data, and he will or she will validate all the data and then call for a joining. All right, any questions in this process, guys? So this is about the entire demonstration with the system look and feel. I'll not show you the entire look and feel because that would take a lot of time again. So we are going to do anyways a deep dive of all the sessions into how you'll have to configure each one of these panels, how you'll have to automate the email notifications, etc., which are still a lot of features which we will be seeing in the upcoming sessions. Okay, now I leave the forum to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and it's over to you guys.
No, ma'am, it is good.
Nice.
No, not right now. Question comes at the time of configuration.
That is true. Question comes at the time of configuration, provided you understand the process. If you know that, yes, I have to create 5 panels because of the requirements, what you have to configure under those 5 panels is something that you will be deciding. All right. So good that you both do not have any questions. Still, you have any sort of an out of context questions with respect to RCM onboarding or employee or say success factors introduction, you can still go ahead and ask me.